Marchbanks on that one. Oh, Joe Shimoda's down over the bar.
You're watching RotoMoto. My name is Donnie, and this RotoMoto React is brought to you by O'Neal. As detailed in my last video, the whoop section in Anaheim was a veritable graveyard on Saturday night, leaving many high-profile riders writhing in pain, limping off, and in one case even carried off on a stretcher. It was radio silence for a few days, but most of the riders have finally come out to talk about their crashes and injuries, so let's detail the crash, the injury, and the recoveries. No better way to do it than chronological. The first rider to weed out this weekend was Team Tedder KTM's Josh Hill, who went down in practice before the night show even began. The fan favorite's injuries were severe enough that he needed to be stretchered off and delivered straight to the hospital. The damage report shows a dislocated hip and fractured pelvis in the crash. Josh expressed on his Instagram how much racing means to him and that what hurts the most is being forced to miss races while recovering. Remember that Josh is a fill-in rider for the Team Tedder squad while they wait for Benny Bloss to heal up from a practice crash, which likely means he will not have a ride available when he does become healthy again. But hopefully this is not the last time that we see the Elder Hill on the pro circuit. The first race of the night show saw a fierce battle with Joe Shimoda and Garrett Marchbanks come down to the wire for a heat race win, with Joe pushing to make a move in the last corner for that win. Unfortunately, as Joe tried to scrub the double into the corner, his back wheel carried into the corner, tossing him onto the ground. Joe was trapped under the motorcycle until the track crew could safely attend to him and was unable to line up for the LCQ, marking the first time in his young career that he was unable to qualify for the main event. Hey guys, just got to check with the doctor and yes, I'm hurt. Couldn't really tell if the dirt was wet or not with the light and went to scrub normally, but it honestly surprised me how slippery it was and ended up crashing. Feel very sorry for guys who is supporting me, but hopefully be back at next race. Thank you. Pro Circuit team manager Ian Southwell said, Joe had made some real progress building on his Glendale podium last week. He qualified second, his best so far. It was disappointing to see him crash when he was doing so well. I know he was frustrated afterwards too. Fortunately, after having some scans done at the hospital, there were no serious injury, and at this point, we're confident we will see a fast and determined Joe back in 6 weeks at Seattle. The only injury concern coming from the 450 in the night show was Alex Martin, who many thought went down in qualifying due to his slow times in the second session, but that was not the case, and the Club MX Yamaha rider in fact came into the night show completely healthy. But before even reaching the first turn in his heat race, Dylan Ferrandis got pinched, which sent his bike cartwheeling into Alex, causing the Elder Martin brother to immediately pull off and also miss the LCQ. Alex updated us about his incident on Instagram the next day. So bummed on what happened last night. Ferrandis crashed coming into the first corner in 450 Heat 1, and something on his rear wheel ended up puncturing my right pointer finger. I looked down and blood was literally gushing everywhere. Such a weird deal. Bummed I couldn't make it back for the LCQ, but we will be back next weekend for Minneapolis. The Whoop monster lay mostly dormant, causing guys issues, but not ending any high-profile nights until the points were on the line. In the opening laps of the 250 main, Jaleek Swoll went flipping over the bars while running in the top 5, taking a few other riders down with him. Jaleek was very slow to get up and never did remount his bike, but he did look to be aware and under watch of the Alpinestars medical team later in the main. After his concussion in the opening round, many people were rightfully concerned about the young Rockstar Husqvarna rider, especially after seeing the condition of his helmet after this crash. But it looks like he will be fine to return for the back end of the West Series, saying, "It was a short night, but I felt good and I'm thankful to be leaving from the crash healthy. Like I got back up to how I was feeling before the crash at A1. I made some good passes at the beginning and felt like I was on the forward charge and the whoops bit me and bit me quick. It's all good. I'm going back into this break with my head down and we'll get back to being one of these top 3 steps." Nate Thrasher was down hard here as well after getting caught by Jaleek's bike and slow to get up, but was also seen riding off the track under his own power, so there hasn't been any cause for concern from the young Star Racing Yamaha rider. No official statement has been made by him or his team at this time, but he is expected to be fine come Seattle. Later in the main event, Robin was seen walking off with his bike down in the whoops heading to the Alpine Stars medical team. No footage of the crash here available, but Jerry did take to Instagram after, explaining, "Bummer way to end a good day on the bike. Whoops were eating us alive in the main. Just got a little wheel spin and dropped the front and shoulder checked one. Thankfully nothing broken and just an AC joint separation and a lot of swelling. Bummed to not snag a top 10 there, but looking forward to the rest of the season." And finally, the biggest one of the night, HRC Honda's Hunter Lawrence and the only real threat to Christian Craig for the 250 West title had a huge one in the whoops. With just 8.5 minutes to go and Hunter trailing Craig by less than 2 seconds, he gets out of sorts about halfway through the section before going end over end with the bike, just barely missing landing in the small of his back in what surely would have been a massive injury to the young Australian rider. The camera stayed on him while he remained on the ground and was later seen being carted off by the Alpine Stars medical unit. The next day, Hunter was seen lounging on the couch with his agent and friend Lucas Myrtle watching the Super Bowl before giving an official statement via a Honda press release on Monday. It was obviously a bit of a scare with what could have been something pretty bad, but it checked out to be okay as far as my body is concerned, Lawrence said in the team statement. "We were really going for the win, so we were laying it out there. Second place seemed like the easy option as we had extended a pretty good gap on third, but I was pushing for the win. I felt like this was a pretty defining race in the championship and I wanted to go for it. The whoops were super gnarly and going at full speed and pushing as fast as you can every single lap. It's how the sport can be sometimes. I'm thankful to the team for supporting me." Hopefully each and every one of these guys come into Seattle at 100% next month, in addition to the other guys that have been banged up that could definitely use the rest. But until then, we have the East to look forward to. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to be the man to beat on the other coast, and be on the lookout for my 250 East Coast team guide that will be dropping later this week. And while you are commenting, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more race news and analysis like this. If you value the content I put out, feel free to check out the Patreon in the description. Just $1 per week helps to feed a starving motocross fan and enter you into a drawing to win race used and autographed memorabilia like this Christian Craig plate from his race-winning bike that will be given away for the month of February. Thanks as always for watching RotoMoto. My name is Donnie. Keep it pinned to the weekend.